The diplomatic relationship between Nigeria and the United States has officially entered its most volatile chapter in history as we sit here in January 2026, and the headline you are seeing about a $9 million payout to stop a Trump invasion is actually a documented reality rooted in high-stakes fear. We are witnessing a moment where the America First doctrine of President Donald Trump has moved from campaign rhetoric to actual military and economic threats that have sent the Tinubu administration into a state of absolute emergency. It all traces back to November 1st, 2025, when President Trump shocks the world by threatening to enter Nigeria guns a-blazing to stop what he called a Christian genocide. And since that moment, the Aster Rock Villa has been operating in a state of crisis. This isn't just about diplomatic letters anymore. It is about the very real fear of U.S. military intervention on Nigerian soil, especially after the unilateral drone strikes we saw just a few weeks ago that proved Trump is not joking. To understand why Nigeria is paying such a massive sum, we have to look at the official filings from the U.S. Department of Justice that were made public on January 14, 2026. These documents confirm that the Office of the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has engaged a Washington-based lobbying firm called the DCI Group through a Kaduna-based law firm, Aster Legal. The price tag for this diplomatic insurance is a staggering $750,000 every single month, totaling $9 million for the year. The Nigerian government has already made a massive $4.5 million down payment just to ensure that these lobbyists, who are close personal allies of President Trump, start working immediately to prevent a total invasion or a complete breakdown of the current administration. This is the highest fee any African nation has ever paid for lobbying in Washington, and it shows you exactly how much the Tinubu administration is shaking behind the scenes. The fear of a Trump invasion became terrifyingly real on Christmas Day 2025 when the U.S. military launched over a dozen missiles into Sokoto State, hitting targets in the Bauni Forest and other areas. While the U.S. Africa Command claimed they were targeting ISIS terrorists to protect innocent Christians, they did this without the full approval or coordination of the Nigerian Military Command. This unilateral action by a foreign power on our soil was a loud and clear message. Trump is willing to use force if he feels the Nigerian government isn't doing enough to stop religious-based killings. The $9 million being spent on the DCI Group is specifically designed to change this narrative before more bombs fall. These lobbyists, led by Justin Peterson, a man who has the personal ear of the U.S. president, are being paid to convince the White House that Nigeria is a partner, not a target for regime change or foreign occupation. If you are finding this deep dive into Nigeria's $9 million Trump insurance policy absolutely mind-blowing, please take a second to hit that like button right now. It helps us get this truth to more Nigerians who need to know exactly how their tax money is being used in Washington. And if you want to stay updated as this story develops, because we're expecting more US drone surveillance and potentially more strikes in the coming weeks, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. We are monitoring the situation in Abuja and Washington 24/7 so you don't have to, and hitting that notification bell ensures you are the first to know when the next big update drops regarding our national sovereignty. This situation is even more desperate because Nigeria is currently fighting a lobbying war on two fronts. While the federal government is spending $9 million to stay in Trump's good books, secessionist groups like the Biafran Republic Government in Exile are also hiring their own lobbyists in Washington to tell Trump that the Nigerian government is the one responsible for the violence. It is a battle of who can spend more and talk louder in the ears of the Republican power brokers. The Tinubu administration is essentially trying to outbid its rivals to ensure that Trump's America First policy doesn't result in Nigeria being treated like a rogue state. We are seeing a total privatization of our foreign policy, where a private law firm in Kaduna is now the middleman for our national security because our regular ambassadors have been ignored by the new administration in the US. The stakes involve more than just military pride. They involve the very survival of our economy. On January 1, 2026, the Trump administration has already begun implementing Presidential Proclamation 1099, which partially suspends visa issuance for Nigerians. This means business travels, student visas, and the massive flow of money from Nigerians in America could be cut off entirely if this $9 million lobbying effort fails to get Nigeria off the country of particular concern list. The scare the headline refers to is the realization that a single tweet from the Oval Office could devalue the naira even further or lead to more perfect strikes on our territory. As the 2026 budget is debated in the National Assembly, many are asking why are we paying $9 million to foreign lobbyists while our own Ministry of Information is sitting idle. But for the presidency, it seems this $9 million is the only thing standing between the current government and a total international humiliation. We are watching a high-stakes game of chess where the board is Nigeria and the players are in Washington. The $9 million is the opening move in a desperate attempt to keep the drones at bay and keep the diplomatic doors open. As the DCI Group begins its work this January, all eyes will be on whether the US relaxes its visa restrictions or if we will see more missiles falling in the north. This is the reality of 2026, a world where diplomacy is bought and sold and where the fear of a Trump invasion is the primary driver of Nigerian foreign spending. For the everyday Nigerian, the question remains, will this $9 million buy us peace, or are we just delaying the inevitable clash with a US president who has shown he is ready to act with or without our permission? What makes this even more intriguing is the role of Roger Stone and other Trump insiders who have reportedly been consulted on this deal. The Nigerian government isn't just hiring lobbyists, they are hiring Trump whisperers who know how to play the game in Mar-a-Lago. This suggests that the Tinubu administration has lost faith in the US State Department and is going straight to the source. The DCI Group's contract is so ambitious that it even includes seeking US support for oil and gas projects while simultaneously trying to wash the government image regarding the protection of Christians. It is a dual-purpose contract: keep the oil flowing and keep the bombs from falling. But with the PDP already calling the deal shameful and deceptive, the domestic political pressure on Tinubu is mounting as fast as the international pressure from Trump. As we move deeper into January 2026, the effectiveness of this $9 million payout will be tested. If we see another drone strike or a further tightening of the visa ban, it will mean the lobbyists have failed. However, if President Trump suddenly starts praising Nigeria's new effort to protect its citizens, then we will know that the $9 million was the most successful investment the federal government ever made. We must remember that in the world of Donald Trump, image is everything, and Abuja is betting the house on a Washington PR firm to make them look like heroes instead of villains. Stay tuned because this story of money, fear, and international power is just getting started, and the results will define the future of Nigeria for the next decade. I want to hear from you in the comment section below. Do you think spending $9 million of taxpayers' money on US lobbyists is a smart move to prevent a Trump invasion, or should that money have been spent on securing the country internally? Let's have a respectful conversation about our national security, because your voice is what makes this channel a community. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your family so they can stay informed about what is really happening between Tinubu and Trump in this crazy start to 2026.